live.
Yes, welcome to Tea for Lunch, the show where we serve up the news that you need to know in 15 minutes or less.
If you're new here, we'll come at you with a main story covering some sort of marketing angle. It could be a summary of new technology, breaking news in the industry, or trends that we're watching, maybe something about the Kardashians. You can catch the show on Instagram Live Thursdays around 12:30 Mountain Standard Time, or you can listen to the repeat every Friday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.
If you don't know us, I'm Mel, and this is Mikenna.
Hello.
How are you, Mikenna?
I am good. Just got back from 2 weeks off.
She's a married woman?
She's a married woman. I got married and went on a honeymoon back to back. So just getting back into the swing of work things. And that's it. How about you? You had a birthday?
I'm pretty good, yeah. I had a birthday. It was lovely. Another year older, wiser, hopefully. But yeah, things are good.
It's the what did you call it? It's your year.
Like Saturn return.
Saturn return.
I think 29 is your Saturn return. Someone confirm in the comments. But apparently that's like your whole life changes at 29. So we'll see.
Okay. Jump into our first story of the day. TikTok is loving this one. Aritzia released their first ever a co-branded style influencer collab for the Sunday Best line. But there's some tea on it. The line is promoted in collaboration with Emma Chamberlain. We love Emma Chamberlain here. Aritzia has been using images of her in the clothes and posting about that as their marketing campaign. But when you look at the line, it's not really anything new, and it's not like a line designed by Emma like you sometimes see with influencer fashion collabs.
Or anything new at all, right? It's no new products.
Yeah, it's like products, a lot of stuff from that I saw last year, a lot of just typical items that they just basically put Emma in and call it that. It's interesting. It's their first time doing anything like this.
Yeah, I kind of have a hot take on it, and it's like not the hot take that most people have. I've been seeing on TikTok people calling this out and saying, that they were hoping that it'd be something new. And I just think that we need to look at it for what it is, which I think is just a marketing campaign. Yeah. I don't think that they're really misleading people that much by saying oh, this is a line by Emma Chamberlain. I think that all of it has been very vague, where it's just been Emma in the clothes and photos and videos of her, and she looks great. The Sunday Best line I feel fits really well with her style because it's all basics, and I like the Sunday Best line. It's definitely one of the more affordable ones at Aritzia, and I love Emma, and I think that this was a really good play on Aritzia's part because Emma has so much influence, and people look to her for trends, and I can imagine that this is probably going to drive a lot of sales for them. But I was so curious as to how much that they would have had to pay Miss Emma, because she's a massive influencer. She has so much reach, and I have no insight into her rates, but I know that it's probably a lot.
Intel that I have scoured has not provided anything fruitful, but I know based on past campaigns and stuff they've done, it is not a small fee that they would have paid.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands, potentially
in the millions. It's a good brand alignment. I just think there is that people are picking up that it's misleading and that it's not really a collab, it's a marketing campaign.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, maybe if this performs well in the future, they'll do a line with her. I think that to do a whole line, especially because Aritzia doesn't really do that. They haven't ever done a collab where someone is designing the line. So
they don't even do it with fashion designers or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, but anyways, I love the campaign. I think it looked beautiful, and I mean, I don't really need to be convinced to shop at Aritzia. It just takes all my money anyways. So,
yep.
Yeah. So the next news story, we wanted to talk about Instagram updates. There's always Instagram updates. It just never ends. And the life of a social media manager is just every morning you don't know what you're going to wake up to. But one thing that I saw was a lot of people were sharing this graphic that was telling people to turn off your precise location. And people were freaking out that Instagram had this new update where it could pinpoint and share your precise location. And I saw that going around, and whenever something like that kind of catches on, I always am skeptical of it as a person who works in social, because I find there's always so much misinformation, and people literally look at one graphic that's made by like whoever, and they just share it and spread it as if it's like truth, and it's like, well, where are you getting this info from? And so people were like freaking out. There was tons of TikToks on it. People were like, oh my god, our personal safety is at risk. And while there definitely is, like, if you're on social, your location and your data is like being sold to people, like 100%. But I think this specific situation, Instagram came out and like addressed it and was basically just like, this is not true. They use your location if you have like enable location services, and that's to bring up like, if you're typing in a location for the location sticker, like your location is not being pinpointed and shared with people. And so it was another like eye roll moment. I know that people are like, personal safety and internet safety is really important, but that graphic, it just like, I saw it everywhere, and people, it was like fear mongering to me.
It was crazy. I saw influencers on TikTok making videos that like explained how a stalker got to their home from using that, and it's just like, what are you saying? There's so much more going on here. And I also remember this being a thing like 8 months ago, the same story.
Well, and I think that people, here's the thing, if you're concerned about your personal safety, don't post on your Instagram story where you are when you're there. I think that is giving people access to your location way more than the Instagram app itself. Like, the Instagram is not sharing your location without you doing something.
I do know that if you have like precise location and then you like tag in some cases, like if I say, oh, I'm in Calgary, Alberta on my post in feed, but your precise location is on, check where that location is, because that location could be your home or your neighborhood, but you're setting that yourself.
Right. So just look into it. So some of the things, when this all came up, some of the things, just like a little reminder to people, is check in your security settings. So look at your location settings. If this is something that you're concerned about, like, look into it and do the research yourself. Just like, don't see one graphic and freak out and decide to delete Instagram. Update your email and phone number so that you won't get locked out of your account, and then turn on two-factor, because another thing is that you could run into issues with safety if someone hacks into your account. So turn on two-factor. And then also check your login activity. So I always do this and just see if there's like anyone logged into your account that's not you. Because that's something that you should be looking at. And then there's another feature that Instagram is launching, and they're basically copying BeReal, which is no surprise, but they're launching candid challenges, and this is being tested, and basically it gives you a notification just like BeReal, and it gives you 2 minutes to post what you're up to, and it takes a photo of what's in front of you and what's behind the camera. So literally exactly like BeReal. It's just being tested so far. I haven't seen it, but I really like BeReal, and I wonder if people are gonna keep using BeReal or if they're just gonna use it on Instagram. What do you think?
I find this so interesting, because when they brought out Reels, they were like, we're not copying TikTok, and now they're doing this, and this is such a blatant BeReal ripoff. Like, how can you say it's not bad at this point? But that's okay. They'll just keep gaslighting us that they're the original ones and that it was their idea and that it's not a copy. I don't know. I'm the person, like, I like TikTok for TikTok and for what it is, and I like BeReal, and I feel like in at least my social circle, I was pretty early on in BeReal for that, and I'm gonna stay there for it. I don't think I'm gonna. Plus, like, my audience on Instagram, I don't really necessarily want to share that with them, unless it's like maybe a close friends thing. I don't know.
What's funny to me is on BeReal, I have like all of my coworkers, so it's like yeah, you're showing like more real stuff, you know, but then it's like kind of funny because it's like, actually a lot of people won't even have their coworkers on their socials because they don't want them to see like what they're up to, and then for me it's like the only people I have on BeReal is people I work with. But I always like am conscious of that. I'm not, I don't know. I know who it's going out to.
I don't have many people on BeReal at all. I've actually like turned down requests from people I know. But just
I'm getting random requests, and I'm just like, I don't know who you are. I'm gonna say no. But I've also heard that internally, like at Meta, like they have whole project names, and it's like specifically to like take down this app or copy this app. Like when they're trying to gaslight us, like it's so obvious. We know internally that they have meetings where they're like, okay, BeReal is doing this, we need to do this. Like, there's no way that they're not. So at least just be upfront about it, you know? I don't care. Anyways.
Maybe one day, like, Adam Mosseri will, like, leave Instagram and write a tell-all, and we'll be like, yes, we knew.
I would pay so much money to read that.
I would pay some money.
Yeah, someone needs like an exclusive with him if he ever leaves.
Oprah.
Or actually, maybe not him. We need someone on the ground. We need someone on the ground floor. We don't need the top dog.
We need a whistleblower.
We do. There's been some in the past. But we need, I don't know, we need a whistleblower from like this past year because things seems like things are going crazy on Instagram.
They'll make a Netflix special someday.
Hopefully.
Okay, our last story, we'll talk about House of the Dragon. So this is the new Game of Thrones spinoff, and it secured the top spot for HBO's largest ever marketing campaign. This campaign had a $100 million media spend.
100 million?
100 million. Just for their media spend. And it's said to have reached almost 130 million people just in the US, which I can attest to because being in LA last week, there was not a block you could drive down that did not have a House of the Dragon billboard.
Right.
It was
the billboards
everywhere.
in LA are crazy too because it's all entertainment. It's so interesting to see.
And I think it paid off. The premiere was their highest, one of their highest viewershiped items that they've ever premiered, with nearly 25 million viewers on the first episode. And then what is actually interesting is when the second episode aired this past Sunday, it had even more viewers than the first one. And that doesn't happen very often.
Are you a Game of Thrones girly?
I am.
Okay.
So I'm
glad there's one of us here.
I was hesitant at first because, I don't know, in my opinion, I've never experienced a spin-off that I actually enjoyed or that was like long-term success.
So you're like fully caught up on Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I've watched it all twice.
Wow. Okay. And then you'll be watching this?
Yeah, I've been watching this live.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
And it's good?
I really like it. I think the difference between Game of Thrones and then House of the Dragon is this is more so far centered on one family, whereas Game of Thrones at any point had like 18 different storylines. So I'm interested to see if they'll do more of these spin-offs that are just going deeper into these singular storylines, or if it'll branch out and bring in more storylines.
Question for you. What platform are you watching this on?
I watch it on Crave.
Okay. And that because that's where you can get HBO. Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay.
Yeah. It's very interesting. And I don't think you have to have had watched Game of Thrones to watch this show.
Oh,
there's enough context. It's like 174 years before like Game of Thrones time. Okay. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know. How do you feel about spin-offs? Do you think that they are successful?
Like most of the time, no.
I know.
And like sometimes even when I think of like, you know, them bringing back like Friends reunion or stuff, it's like it's just never the same as the original. I'll still watch it for sure, but it's never the same as the original. Sometimes they're good, but
yeah.
I don't think there's ever been one where the spin-off is better than the original.
I know,
right?
And I think that's what makes this really interesting. And so far I am more invested in this than I was when Game of Thrones came out. So we'll see.
Interesting.
I was hesitant, but
I'm gonna need some like reviews from you on it.
Okay.
Maybe some TikTok videos.
Some tea.
So before we end, there was another story that I wanted to shout out, and this is just kind of selfishly for me because I love internet drama, like internet specific drama.
Yes. And
basically, you know, Miss Addison Rae. So her parents are currently in a dumpster fire online, and this is because Addison got really popular on TikTok, obviously. And then sort of like Charlie and Dixie D'Amelio's parents, like the parents get involved and they start creating their own social media presence, which is so weird because they end up getting a ton of followers. So like Addison's parents, mainly her mom, Sherry, started being in content with Addison and they would like do dances together. And then she started her own TikTok and got tons of followers, but the content is pretty cringy, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
So then they basically became influencers themselves, but then now there's just this whole thing that's happening because Addison's dad was cheating on her mom.
I don't know any of this.
This is why I'm breaking it down for you and for the viewers. Addison's dad, Monty Lopez, he's a character, not in a good way. He was cheating on Addison's mom, and that came out online. Someone like leaked a video or something, and that came out online, so then the parents got divorced. Like they were fully married before this. Then they rose to fame with their daughter, who's like 19. And so then they split up, okay? So they split up. Sherry's like, who's Addison's mom, is doing her thing, living her life. Then the artist Young Gravy. Do you know Young Gravy?
I do.
Okay, Young Gravy. he was, I think, making some jokes or something that he was like seeing Sherry, Addison's mom, and everyone didn't know if it was true or not. And we just got confirmation that it is true. They walked the red carpet together. Ugh. And there's probably like, I don't know, a 20 or 30-year age difference. It's giving Demi and Ashton vibes from back in the day. And TikTok is going crazy about this because there's this video where Young Gravy is like saying something to Sherry, and people like read his lips in the video, and people think that he said, "It's okay, baby, come here." And so people are just like creeped out, but also just confirmation on this relationship. But what I'm concerned about is Addison is just this, you know, innocent bystander in this, where her parents are acting crazy online. And I've heard, or like she put out a statement where she's like, she wants nothing to do with it. She's unfollowed her parents. I don't know what their relationship is like in real life, but I just feel like when parents of influencers start to like get in the game themselves, it's like a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, this is so interesting to me.
You didn't know any of this.
I like saw like the Young Gravy and like Sherry stuff, but I didn't have that like background context. So honestly, I feel bad for Addison. I think everyone's gonna come after her for it, or like she's not come after her, but I feel like in a way she sort of takes the heat.
Yeah, well, her parents are being really messy, and Addison is like, we've seen her in the past like year or so like become a real like professional, and she's like has her hand in really like big projects, and she's kind of like more so entering into the realm of like real celebrity now. And this is very much like messy TikTok influencer drama that I feel like some people in the entertainment industry like wouldn't want to touch. So anyways, I just had to bring that up because we considered it being one of our main stories, and McKenna didn't know much about it. I don't think lots of people know about, or I don't know, maybe it's just my hole on TikTok, but I just had to get that off my chest. I had to bring someone in.
Now I'm invested.
I'll send you some resources.
So many thoughts.
Okay, well, thank you for listening to us. Now that we've wet your palate, go eat something more substantial.
Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.